Hello fellow hustlers, this is Todd from New York, and in this video I am going to teach you how to upload fonts to WordPress, so stay tuned. This tutorial is to teach you how to upload fonts to WordPress and to apply them to your layout. In this tutorial I have 4 windows open. I have my editor open, which you can access through the appearance option on the side menu. I have the Font Squirrel website open, which is where I am going to retrieve my font. I have my Bluehost account open because this is where I'm going to access the files and folders where I will eventually upload my font. And then I also have my website that is up so I can see the changes that are being made as I'm editing my code. So these are the 4 windows that I will be working with as I upload the font. So we're going to start by going to Font Squirrel. Since I'm already familiar with Font Squirrel, I know exactly which font that I want to use. It may be different for you, but whatever website you're using, the process should be the same. If you're using Font Squirrel, you're going to click on Find Fonts, and you're going to either explore around or find the font that you're looking for. I happen to know that the font that I want to use is called Monotone, so I will find that font, which should be listed in the M section, which I happen to know is close to page 11, if not on page 11. So I'm going to scroll, and it looks like we're going to find it pretty shortly. Here it is, Monotone, and notice how very different it looks from the other fonts. This I did purposely because once we upload the font to the layout and successfully apply it to the layout, we should be able to see the stark difference between the previous font and the monotone font that we're going to apply to the layout. So once you've found your font, you're going to click on the download button, whichever font you're using, and then you're going to unzip the folder and have access to it. Notice I have another monotone folder here. This basically means that I uploaded the font, or I downloaded the font twice. So once you have your font, you're going to close out of Font Squirrel because you don't need to use the website anymore, or whatever font website you used. And you're going to go to your Bluehost account or whatever account you used to purchase domain space, and you're going to click on the File Manager option or the cPanel. Every website or company that hosts space for people who run websites will have some form of a file manager or cPanel. You're going to click on File Manager or cPanel, and you're going to navigate to the list of folders that have all of your website content and coding in it. Now, if you're using the file manager on Bluehost, you should know that you will probably get some similar arrangement of files like this. And when you do, you should really only access WP content. The other folders have important documents that you really should not be touching. Otherwise, you could seriously disrupt the website that you're working with. So I'm going to click on WP content, and I'm going to navigate to themes where my layout lives. My layout is called 2013, and you can access that on the WP library website. It's completely free, but if you're not using 2013, you'll want to navigate to whatever theme you're using. Click on your theme, and then once you've gotten to the area where your folders live within your theme, you're going to want to create a new folder called Fonts. Notice I've already created that folder here, but if you haven't, you're going to click on New Folder, and you're going to create a folder called Fonts. Once you've done that, click inside the fonts, and you'll be led to either a blank page, or maybe you've already created a fonts folder and you already have fonts that are living inside. Whatever the case may be, this is going to be the section where you upload your font. So notice I've already uploaded a bunch of fonts here. So I'm going to just upload one more. Note also that this is kind of in a weird medley of different fonts. You as the webmaster will want to organize the fonts and other such folders the way you want them to be, just for your own clarity and navigation purposes. For me, I think this is fine, this clutter of different fonts, but other people might cringe and want to, I guess, organize the fonts further into different folders. For me, it doesn't matter. So once you've navigated to the page where you want your new font to live, you're going to upload the font by clicking the upload button. You're going to choose the file that you want to upload. Here is the font that I want to upload called Monotone. There's only one full file here, which is great because sometimes there are fonts that have many different types of files that you need to upload, but this is actually quite nice having one because it saves me time. So I'm going to double click on the Monotone font and wait for the upload to complete. Notice it says upload, upload, and then it completes here. So this bar indicates that the file has been successfully uploaded. You then click on the go back button, and then you scroll down to just make sure that the font is where it's supposed to be. And there it is. So now you have the font uploaded onto your cPanel in your fonts folder. The next step is to manually add your font to the CSS file in your editor on your WordPress dashboard. So you can click out of the Bluehost cPanel, and you're going to navigate to your editor, and you're going to choose an area in your editor where you want your font to live. For me, I've already created a section in my editor called Fonts where all of my fonts live. This area, by the way, is located in the file called Style Sheet, and it is the style.css file. This is the file that you're going to be using to add your font to the website and to make any sort of aesthetic changes to your layout. So this is the section where I want my fonts to live. It doesn't have to be the section where you want your fonts to live. And I'm going to just add the code that will allow my font to exist within the layout, or that will give my layout the ability to use the font that I've uploaded. So I'm going to type the same code that you see above, font face, curly braces, and I'm going to type the exact lines that you see above. I'm going to indent 4 spaces just for the purposes of a convention and to stick with the patterns that I've created or maintained above. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to type the same code. Font family is just going to be the name of the font that you want for the font that you uploaded. It's just the name that you're going to give the font that you uploaded. It does not have to be monotone. It could be any name you want. So let's say I'm thinking that the name of monotone would be great as Todd. Let's say it's Todd. I'm going to put a semicolon. I'm going to return, and I'm going to indent 4 spaces again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to type the same code that you see above. src, colon, space, URL, parentheses. And inside the parentheses, I'm going to type the location where my font lives. It lives in the fonts folder. And I'm going to quickly go back to my cPanel, and I'm going to look for the name of the font that was uploaded. It's very important that you use the exact name of the font that you uploaded, because otherwise the computer will not know where your font is. And this was my mistake because I thought that I didn't need to do this, but sometimes you make mistakes when you're performing different procedures and making tutorials, but oh well, we all make mistakes. So here's the font that we uploaded. It's called Monotone Regular, and you're going to Control-C or Command-C to copy the name, and you're going to go back to your editor, and you're going to put that name inside the parentheses, followed by the extension TFF. That's the name of the extension of the font. See, or it's TTF, I'm sorry. TTF. And then you're going to finish this line with a semicolon. When you are finished, you are going to press Update File and wait for the editor to make its changes. Once the editor has made its changes, you should see a little notification at the screen above that says File Edited Successfully. That means that the font is now available in our WordPress control management system. So now we're going to go to the window where my layout is, and we're going to inspect the element of the text that we wish to change or alter. We inspect the element because we want to know which tag we're going to use in our editor to make the changes that we want. For this particular tutorial, I am making font changes, so I want to know where this particular text is located inside the editor. So I have inspected the element. I'm going to use the magnifying glass to hover over the text. See the highlighting area around the text? That tells me that this is where the text is. And this is, I'm choosing the text as I'm hovering over it. That's what it indicates. And in the code below here, you're going to see exactly where the text lives inside my editor. It's an H2 tag, and it's inside the div class called entry content. So that's where we're going to be looking when we go back to the editor and make the changes. I'm going to quickly go to element style while my text is highlighted, and I'm going to just test to see that the monotone is working properly, or the monotone text is in fact available. So I'm going to type font family followed by a tab, and I'm going to type the name of the font that we uploaded, which was, as you remember, Todd. I'm going to press tab, and that should make the changes. If it has not made the changes, it probably means that you're not highlighting the text that you should be. So make sure that the text inside the Inspect Elements window is highlighted. Notice that the text in this box over here changed, so that tells me that we did not actually make the changes that we wanted to make inside the editor. So let's try that again, and let's see if this works. And we're still not quite there yet. So we're going to just see why this isn't working. Sometimes if we made changes previously, that could also make changes that we don't want. So we're going to hover again and make sure that the text is working properly. Let's see. Still not working. So let's go back and see where we went wrong. Monotone regular, it lives in the fonts. TTF. And it's not working. Interesting. Let's try refreshing the page and seeing if the refresh works. So let's try again. Let's see if we can edit it. Font, family. There we go. And I guess we just had to refresh the page. So sometimes you just have to tinker with the layout a little bit, with the inspect elements. It really can be a trial and error procedure, but I encourage you to really embrace the trial and error. That is kind of the process of learning how to work with WordPress and navigate through its different windows and files and folders, and just becoming a more flexible and effective WordPress developer. So notice that we have successfully uploaded the monotone font in the Inspect Elements window. If we refresh, however, the font will go away because we did not make permanent changes. In order to make permanent changes, we will have to go back into the editor, and we will have to go to the entry content class where the H2 tags are living. So we have to scroll down until we find the entry content. Now we could scroll down, which would take a while, but a really more effective strategy would be to Control F or to Command F and to type in entry content and to look for the area where you will want to make changes. Notice that we have a couple of entry contents on this page, so we're going to just continue to look for the area that is best for our changes. I'm going to pick this area because I notice that the H2 tag is here and it's inside the entry content header. So it seems like I had already uploaded the font that I wanted to use for my H2 tag on the layout that we're working with. So let's change the name of the font to Todd, and let's update the file now and see if that makes the changes that we want. Takes a little while. So once we made the changes, let's go back to the website where we want to make the changes, and let's refresh the page. And there you go. We have successfully uploaded the monotone font to the website. There's just so much to learn with WordPress, so if you have any questions, please feel free to email me and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks so much, and happy hustling.